Thank you for staying with us. Finally this morning, American workers thinking about retirement earlier and earlier, but are you financially prepared for that big step? Well, fear not if you said no. Danielle Moore is with me this morning to give us some insight to what being prepared really looks like. Good morning and welcome. You are with Ameriprise Financial Services. Give us a little bit of a little background and kind of why you chose this particular arena.
Okay, well, I am with Ameriprise Financial Services. I have offices here in Salisbury, Maryland, and also I have an office in Newark, Delaware. And I started thinking about being a financial advisor, financial planner, stockbroker when I was about 9 years old with the show, if everyone knows it, 90210.
Oh, yeah, we know it.
I wanted to be the man that managed Dylan's money, not the man, the woman. But that's how I really started getting more interested in financial planning.
Okay.
And so I started out working under two senior advisors with American Express Financial Advisors at the time, and transitioned right from my graduation at University of Delaware into being a financial advisor with Ameriprise Financial, and that was in Wilmington, Delaware.
So it can be daunting, as you know, and so I talk to people a lot on this show and on my newscast in the morning, and the age is just varied now. It used to be a time where, you work for 30 years at one job, your money goes into your Social Security or into your retirement, and that's it. It's different now.
So different.
So different.
Yes.
So say I'm thinking about retirement and I want to set up a meeting with you. I come in, what happens then?
The first thing I do before I look at a single statement or dollar amount that you've have planned or saved for already, first thing I ask you is, what is your goal? What is your retirement goal? Do you want to travel
I want a house
across
in the Caribbean on the beach so I can just get up and enjoy my days and then come back and I can, visit family stateside every now and then, but I want to do that comfortably and take nice trips to the south of France every now and then.
Okay.
I got to get to work on this retirement.
I got to start writing this stuff down. Well, you have a very good and detailed goal. I usually get the answer, I don't know, retire, travel, the same canned response, And what you said is very specific, and that's what I like. I like to have clients brainstorm about what they really want to do in retirement, not just what age they want to retire or what the norm is for retirement or what Social Security says is retirement. I want my clients to figure out what they want to do with their time in retirement. And whether that is, traveling and the south of France, or whether it's just spending time with your grandkids, that helps me get kind of an idea of what we're shooting for. The second thing I do is have my clients go through a cash flow analysis. It sounds complicated.
That's the scary part.
That's the scary part. That's the hardest part. That's what I tell my clients. That is the hardest part, because your cash flow is really what's going to determine what your lifestyle will look like in the future. So if I see right now, cash flow analysis simply just means your income minus your expenses. So doing a data gathering of what your expenses actually are, and then we can kind of project those numbers out to the future, because ultimately in retirement, you don't want your lifestyle to change, to go back. You want to be able to improve it. Exactly. Exactly. So if we can first get that idea of what your expenses look like and see right now if you have an excess. So if you have a little bit left over at the end of the month, I'm going to say, what are you going to do with that money?
Oh, nice.
Can we save that? Can we start putting that away for your future goals? And then that's our first approach. And then I start looking at your statements and seeing what you've done so far, your savings, your investments. But the first part is just to brainstorm and then figure out where we need to start, where we need to get going.
And one of the things we always hear is that, we should be putting a little bit in savings somehow, whatever that looks like. So what's the general rule about savings that you would give someone?
Well, savings first and foremost, majority of people have some sort of an employer-sponsored plan, whether it's a 401k plan, whether it's a 403b plan, a SEP IRA, a simple IRA. It's a pre-tax plan where you're saving money before taxes are taken out. It's tax deferred, and then when you go to pull the money out at retirement, that is when you're taxed at your ordinary income tax rate. The benefit of an employer-sponsored plan, if you have that benefit, is that your employer will give you some sort of a match. So I recommend to clients, if you're getting an employer match, save, it's a no-brainer, save at least enough to get that employer match. Otherwise, you're leaving free money on the table, and we never want to do that.
And they're bouncing back. There was a short period where companies were saying we can't afford to do that, but now companies are doing that again. So definitely,
well, companies are finding it's a good way to keep good employees and quality employees. So the employer match is a big thing. If you can save more into the 401k plan, excellent. However, there's other options available to you. So the next we look at a Roth IRA plan. A Roth IRA is after-tax dollars that are going in, so think of it as net income being invested, growing tax-deferred, and then when you go to pull those dollars out, all of the earnings that you've accrued over the years are completely tax-free. Okay.
Wow.
So there's a maximum amount that you can contribute every single year. It's $5,500 per year. And then for anyone over 50, it's $6,500 per year. So I always recommend, let's try to max out that Roth IRA. Let that be one of our goals, and start it as soon as possible. You don't have to be 40 to start this thing. Start it up as soon as you get your first job.
As soon as you get that job, start it up.
First thing, start saving.
Now, what are some of the big decisions that we need to really make as far as retirement goes?
Well, the biggest decision is not whether or not to go to Bob Evans for breakfast or lunch, but the biggest decision is actually when to retire. When do I take that plunge? A lot of people, and I can't count the numerous times I've heard it, I'm going to work forever. I'm never going to retire. I'm never going to have that chance. And the same people that said that sitting across my desk are now retired. And it's really something that you have to decide with all of your factors of your personal situation, what is that key retirement age? And then once we kind of get that idea, we make the decisions about your pension plan, if you're fortunate enough to have a pension plan. When do we start that up? There's different options available to how you receive that pension. You can do a lump sum rollover. Does that make sense? There's big decisions, and it's very stressful for people, so we try to work through that. Next, there's a decision about Social Security, of when to start receiving that, what's most effective, and there's not a defined answer for the whole, for everyone. It's really an individual question that we have to answer. Other questions, should I keep my 401k at my employer or roll it to an IRA plan? I typically recommend in most cases to roll it to an IRA plan, because then you have more control over your investments there. Yeah, so there's quite a few big decisions to make, but those decisions we can pretty much figure out.
That's why we come in to see you. Exactly. So we get an idea of what we need to be doing.
Exactly.
So it's so much good and helpful information. Just give us a general overview for people approaching retirement.
Okay. Well, my best advice is if you're in the home stretch to retirement, it's time to step on the gas pedal. It is time to get your plan in place of what it's going to take over the next 5 to 10 years to get you to that successful, confident retirement that you've been looking for. I want retirement to be exciting and something that we're looking forward to, not something that we're worried about or scared about. So let's get those plans together and make it more of an exciting event.
All right, and we will spend more time with Danielle next week talking about the other side of that. When you're getting that first job, what are some things you need to be doing to get it in place?
That's right, how to get started.
All right, thank you, Danielle, for being with us.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you for watching Good Things Delmarva. Remember to catch us here every Sunday morning. We'll see you next week. Have a wonderful and purpose-filled day.